First match. This hand is debatable. No ramp, one interaction spell. I mean, we'll try it just because it has a bunch of the new lands and other stuff, so. Yeah, that's one of the pieces we're looking for here. Definitely not looking for another Leyline Binding. Blue-white control opponent. Yep. Battlefield. I have a black source, so back streets back. All right. Don't really want to bend that, but it does kind of give away what we're on here, but that's kind of dumb actually, but not sure why I auto tap differently. Not sure why they didn't crack their clue there. Back streets back. All right. I'm not even sure what land we get here. Yep, presume this would eat a counter spell. Okay. I can definitely go to the yard. Now got to make a decision. Yep. Mm-hmm. No more lies. Shocker. Two, three, four. It's very frustrating to the control player when they want the turn they want to be flashing back Memory Deluge to be mm-hmm. Farewell would be their most devastating play here, and I don't even think that's going to be good enough. So. Mm-hmm. This goes on the stack. You are dead, my friend. Oops, that was best of 1. Meant for that to be best of 3, but yeah. Alright, now that we're actually in best of 3, second is still reasonable enough. Versus Gigantha, so Herd Migration can go to the yard. Gruul. I haven't seen Gruul in a minute. Yeah, we could have kept that from flipping. Mm-hmm. Okay, red source-ish. Worst possible, but we're still going to have enough of a... What cards make the most sense? 3 Virtue of Persistence. Consign is okay-ish. Try like this, see what happens. Don't usually like cutting the combo pieces, but yeah, send this fine. Keep the land on top. MT. Into this for 5. Chariot? Yep. Swing low, sweet chariot. So, do this. Prowess. Mm-hmm. So 2. I mean, if they have Bone Crusher Giant, we're probably just dead here. But I do think we have to go for it, so it is what it is. Okay, and they didn't, so GG. Alright, matchup number 3, although second actual whatchamacallit match. We'll keep this one. Got Release to the Wind isn't great, but I mean it's a piece of interaction if we absolutely need it. Carnosaur can be interaction or redundant combo piece, and other obviously Tanuki is a ramp spell, so Demonic Ruckus. Go ahead and put that one in the yard, I think. Illuminator Virtuoso. Say we really need to draw Bedeck Bedazzle here, and we got admittedly a bit lucky. Draw a card off that, which is annoying, but at least it's gone. Since you've been gone. I mean, outside of a Leyline Binding here, none of our removal spells now deal with this. And they're clearly holding up protection, so... Definitely one of the trickier matchups overall. Okay. Has a lot of interaction, but no payoff or ability to cast either of their Leyline Bindings. This one at least can eventually cast it, so keep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mass and trample. Okay. At least it does not give it mm-hmm. That was the easy game. Yeah, sand is obviously trash. Yeah, sand is worth a gamble, I guess. Mm-hmm. Huh. Well... Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I don't think we're walking away from this one. Mm-hmm. Some type of interaction over the combo? Oh, the opponent thought Containment Priest would work on the combo. To be fair, I didn't know if it would either or not, so. Alright. Best of 3, match 3, but we'll try it. Keeping that on top. Either mono red aggro or... Yep. Slick Shot Show Off. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's admittedly annoying. Okay. Interesting. And all the interaction. Bless you. I'll certainly try it, but this hand could just die. And keep a one-lander? They did. Presume. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. Chance they have a blossoming defense here. Good game. Well played. Alright, India Pumpkin Seeds. Nice. Nice turnaround from last week's debacle. Alright, so a couple updates with this list. This is a list that recently 5-0'd a league on MTGO. The nice part about this list is it actually was 100% arena exportable, as opposed to, lists sometimes with Dramoka and some other stuff. A couple departures from the lists we had been playing. Number one, no Scrylands, instead the Surveil lands were in. Helps with Leyline Binding, obviously a bit risky that you put copies of Spark Double or Release to the Wind in the graveyard. So far on balance, wasn't terrible. The format right now is very much kind of predicated on, at least the new toys, Slick Shot Show Off, so Mono Red Aggro, Boros Heroic, various Prowess-esque or Hexproof-esque strategies building around those, in addition to vampires, the surging of Mono Black, Waste Not, in Pioneer itself, Niv to Late, and Lotus Field Combo. So I think overall in the format that this is a deck that can beat anything, but can also lose to anything. As you saw last week, we had a terrible run with both this and Vampires last week. This build felt a little cleaner with the Surveil land mana base, not as many Tri-lands. The rest of the list isn't anything fancy. We have 12 pieces of interaction in the main deck, 4 Bedeck, 4 Leyline Binding, 4 Trumpeting Carnosaur. You have 8 win cons for the combo with Quint and Carnosaur, and then additional win cons and Beanstalk Giant, Herd Migration. Part of the reason why I kept the best of one match against mono or blue-white control was to kind of show how you power through or play around blue-white as best you can, even in the pre-board games. The sideboard configuration, looking at it, is actually, I think, very interesting. I think it's set up in such a way that you can board out your 4 Herd Migrations, maybe a Tanuki, bring in all your Virtuous Persistences, and go bring in your Consigned to Oblivions and your Virtue of Persistence for your kind of creature-based matchups. For your more mid-range stuff, you can go down Herd Migrations for just your Shark Typhoons. Against blue-white control, you can go down your Leyline Bindings and Bedecks. Potentially your Release to the Winds, bring in your Shark Typhoons, Mirrorshell Crabs, Thought Distortions. I think this is one of the more flexible sideboards I've seen. You're not relying on Dromokas or Angels or Elder Gargarost to kind of stabilize. You're just relying on, really hard removal. One of the lessons I've really learned about this build was I was kind of used to the interact on 2, ramp on 3, win on turn 4. I found with these builds of late, as aggro's kind of come back into the format, interact on 2, interact on 3, interact on 4, combo on 5 is perfectly acceptable as well. So I've been a big proponent about Quint. Obviously I don't have any huge results with it. I do have a 7-0 in a Explorer Challenge. I do have a 4-0 on a qualifier for a weekend qualifier with this in Explorer. So I've been playing this deck for quite a while. Even before the Geological Appraiser banning, I was playing this version because I like this version a little bit better. And as the deck has become more and more refined, even though your options are very limited, I have been liking this deck a lot. And the newer builds, I continue to love the deck. It's not always going to put up the best, most consistent results because, you don't have the consistency of an Izzet Phoenix or necessarily the utility of a Rakdos mid-range, Rakdos Vampires list where you have, all these customizable cards. You're very limited in, you probably have like 90 to 95 non-land cards your deck can play, and it's just a matter of, fitting those in. Basically, the Torrential Gearhulk version's kind of gone by the wayside. I mean, that's fine. I was kind of married to that version for a while, but I've come to accept that this version is the best, obviously, in the current meta. In formats where there's a little bit more, Rakdos mid-range and control, the Garuda version is a little bit better, along with, having access to Cavern of Souls. But, this deck can very much beat blue-white control even without the additional threats and the anti-counter spell tech. So, deck is sweet. I mean, we've played it basically every week for going on at least 3 months now on this channel, and I was playing it some on the Arena channel before that channel got at least temporarily abandoned for now, just because there isn't the time to make content for it. But yeah, I like Quint Combo. I really like this build. I'm definitely going to play with the Surveil lands more and get a better feel for that, and kind of let you know how I feel about the deck from there. But as always, if you like Pioneer and Explore content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you for our next week's video.